Coach, just defensively, and we just talked about it on the broadcast, but holding Cincinnati without a 3 in this game, and you always talk defensively, how much pride you take on that end of the floor. What do you think about the defensive effort today?
Yeah, we're a team that takes a lot of pride in what we do defensively. We enjoy disrupting the other team and getting them out of their rhythm. I thought we did a really good job of mixing up, going back and forth from our man to zone and keeping them on their toes a little bit so they couldn't stay in the sets that were comfortable for them. Obviously, we have to do a better job of finishing off those possessions with the box out. Giving up 7 O-boards to Jillian Hayes, 13 overall, is not something that we'll take lightly. We need to do a better job, get back in the gym and making sure that we're focusing on finishing those possessions so that we can capitalize on it, and that turns into a win instead of a loss, with so many of their points coming off those second chance opportunities. A bit disappointing to finish it that way, but some feel that can help us grow a little bit.
Coach, you just mentioned about what really changed in the fourth quarter. You get outscored 12-2 over the last 3 minutes, and that 8-0 run over the last 120. What changed? They added those 23 points in the fourth quarter alone.
Yeah, I think the offensive rebounds, right? I think, not boxing out, giving them an opportunity to put the ball back in the basket, fouling them on that second chance opportunity and put him on the free throw line. And then we just lost our way a little bit. So a few mix-ups down the stretch of what alignment we were in, who should be matched up to who. But again, I think so many great glimpses of the growth that this team has already had, the growth that is coming in the future for this group. Just got to get back to the drawing board and shore up a few things.
On that line of growth, a lot of minutes last year for Daniela Lopez. She comes up with 13 today. Kind of saw that experience pay off for her.
Absolutely. I definitely think she's drawing on that experience from last year, doing a really good job of finding a steady head. I think it was a little bit difficult for her to transition into a role off the bench and kind of find her space of what does this mean for me and how much can I impact the game. But conversations as of late and really spending this week having her understand that she is incredibly valuable to this team, and we need her to come off and the bench and be that defensive, offensive spark. And I think she's starting to take that to heart a little bit. I think Julia is one who bought into that role a little bit early for us and set the example for it, and it's nice to see Daniela come along. I think, Lauren not having a great day, Neek still trying to get her going. When we put all the pieces together, I think this group is going to really surprise some people.
One of those pieces that had been steady for you, Mary Canerva, now getting a little bit more comfortable offensively, 11 today, and she just keeps kind of pulling away to be one of your primary go-tos.
Sure, she's steady, right? As a freshman, it's shocking to look at her and look right in her eyes, and she's like, whatever you need, Coach, I got it. And she's not worried about any change that you ask her to make. I mean, she was responsible for guarding, quick athletic guards, guarding in the post, right? Being the one who's setting up the trap, right? Handling the ball offensively, helping us break the press. And when we got it back to her hands, we're in a good way. So she's got such an exciting future. And I think as she understands that she can take over games and put the ball in the basket for us a little bit more, I think you're going to see some exciting things out of that young lady.
Coach, you mentioned it earlier in the week about how tough of a matchup Jillian Hayes was, 18 and 16 tonight. What was she doing that caused that kind of havoc for you guys?
She does what she does, right? She's physical. She gets after the board. She stays as a steady head, right? We were taking away some of her opportunities early, got her into foul trouble early, and she didn't blink. Right? You don't have a moment to blink in this game. It moves too fast. And she got back to the basics, really getting after the offensive boards for them, playing with her back to the basket, facing up, knocking down jumpers, and we did not do enough to disrupt her. So a hard matchup. We said it was going to be. I was excited about Lauren having the opportunity to take her on, excited about our group really focusing in on her and trying to keep the ball out of her hands. But she won the day, right?
And then just a follow-up question, obviously, towards the end there in the handshake line, a little scuffle kind of broke out. Do you just have any comment on that, really what transpired there?
It's a rivalry game, right? Add a little fuel to the fire, and it'll be a lot more fun next year.
Awesome. Thank you.
You guys made a little run there, and I think it was a 4-point lead early in the fourth quarter. How frustrating is it to see that, and then the moment's right there, and then you just can't seize it?
Yeah, sure. It's the flow of a game, right? You're going to have teams that go on runs, and we had our run right there, and they were able to take it right back. So not exactly thrilled, right, that they take over the game and that they can close that lead, but 4 points is not very big. So we've got to make sure that we're locked into our disciplines, stay true to who we are. I think, again, in that stretch, giving up those offensive rebounds is really what disrupted us. I thought we did a decent job getting them to take shots they weren't comfortable with, some off balance, 2-point mid-range jumpers, some floaters, some people shooting that they didn't necessarily want the ball in their hands. But you got to finish the possession out, especially in games like this.
Coach, you were able to get Tanaya Hilton into foul trouble. Was there something you guys saw early in this matchup to where you could really attack her and kind of force Cincinnati to their bench and kind of play to your strength there and score the ball?
Sure, that's what we wanted to do, right? We wanted to rely on our defense, take some charges, get them out of a rhythm, and she just so happened to pick up the two quick. Really not anything that we said go at her to get her in foul trouble, but more so just rely on the things that we work on every single day to make sure that we can be at our best. So again, a lot of bright spots in this game for this team and this program and the direction that we want to head in, but a lot of things that we're going to go back and take a look at that we want to clean up so that we can be a little bit more successful.